Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the debut record from BPMD, American Made, out June 12th on Napalm Records. This album has 10 tracks and it's 39 minutes in length, and this is a project that includes Bobby Blitz, Mike Portnoy, Mark Mingy, and Phil Demmel, all-star cast of musicians. This record told me something I didn't know I needed in my life. My life was not completed without this, and that is a heavy rock covers album of classic American rock songs. Now I can move on. Now I feel whole. These guys created a very interesting record, and in my opinion, when you take 10 songs from 10 different bands and you do 10 different covers, it's very easy for the album to really feel broken up, to really feel disconnected on a track-by-track basis. But to me, there's two main elements that really holds this record together. Really feels like an album. It really feels like something that belongs there. And that is the overall track listing and structure of the record and the soundscape that the album has. Starting off with the track listing, they picked 10 classic songs, but then in the order in which they placed the songs to me was absolutely key in order for the album to work. They picked the perfect intro, they picked the perfect closing, and they picked the perfect combination of songs to give the album the necessarily dynamic, but also the necessarily fluidity for it to be absolutely continuous from the first to the last song, almost making you forget that these are 10 cover songs, and makes you feel like you're listening to 10 original tracks. That is the fluidity that the album has. That is the feel that the album has as far as the overall structure and track listing are concerned. The second element, the overall soundscape, to me this was absolutely crucial. You want the songs to still feel like the originals. You want the spinal cord of the song to be the original song, but you also want to make it your own. You want to create a sound signature that you can put on every single song in order to connect these 10 misfits all together and feel as one. And in my opinion, they achieved that goal. This record really has a signature sound that is present with the first song and is present with every single song beyond that, all the way to the end of the record. So the combination of that, of creating this specific approach as far as sound is concerned and having the perfect track listing together, are the two main elements that makes this almost feel like an album of original songs, even though it isn't. Perhaps for a new generation will feel more like an album of original songs because they may not be as familiar with the original tracks. But still, this is a great way of creating a covers album. Paying attention to these two separate elements, keeping the structure of the record really concise, really connected, interconnected if you will, so that the album has great playability and great fluidity, and then creating a soundscape, creating a signature sound that really spreads across every single song, that still keeps a lot of the original DNA, but turns that original DNA all the way up to 11, creating almost brand new tracks out of it. Now, going deeper into the songs, to me there are two elements that you cannot walk away from this record without talking about them, and that is guitars and vocals. As far as the guitars are concerned, Phil Demmel put on an absolute clinic. He gave us the business. Like, incredible work on this record from a guitar perspective. From the riffs to the solos. Let's stay with the solos for a little bit. I mean, the guitar solos on this album, if you're an aspiring guitar player, pick up this record and listen to these guitar solos. This is how a guitar is meant to be played. Absolutely magnificent. Still having that rock twang to the guitar sound, but making it a little bit heavier, making it a little bit thicker, chunkier if you will, giving a little bit more grooviness to the sound, and still keeping some of the classic elements there. Absolutely phenomenal guitar work across every single track on this album. The other aspect that I mentioned was the vocals. Bobby Blitz, like I said before, to me any album with Bobby Blitz is an album that I need to listen to. So I really feel like this record allows him to use his vocals in different ways and still feel connected with each and every single song. He has a great delivery, he has a great tone, and he really brings a little bit of that hard-working American feel into the way he delivers the vocals on this album, and that connects extremely well with the songs on the record because the songs have this blue collar feel to it, and the way he comes across on every single song is very Bobby Blitz, but at the same time is very blue collar. So I really like his approach on every single track. I really love what he brought on every single song, and I really love the intensity, the soul that he gave on every single track with his delivery. This is a magnificent record all around. It's fun, it's interesting, it's filled with great original tracks that now are covers. So I really feel like this album is going to play really well for two different audiences. For a more vintage-like audience, this will be really fun to listen to because you'll remember the originals and now you're getting to hear the originals with a facelift. For a new crowd, for a new generation, these will feel like original songs from an original band. So this is a record that, in my opinion, really, like I said, going to resonate with a lot of different people, with two very separate audiences, if you will. So kudos for them. Great record, great sound, great delivery, great execution. There's nothing wrong with this album. Absolutely magnificent. A great overall record with great overall songs. Now, as far as some of those songs are concerned, I really want to start off with Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. This could not have been a better intro track. This is perhaps one of the greatest songs, American classic rock songs of all time. It's a Ted Nugent original, and in my opinion, for this specific record, for the sound that this album has, for that signature soundscape, you really want this as your opening track. It could not have been a better one. Bobby Blitz delivers one of the greatest openings of all time. He really took that opening, made it his own, connected with this current project, connected with this band, and it was absolutely magnificent. They added a lot of heaviness to this track. They added power, they added drive to the song. Bobby's voice, his tone fits like a glove into the lyrics, into the style of the song, into the new face of the track that they've created. He's able to give a little bit more texture, he's able to give a little bit more flavor, staying really consistent across the whole song, and then Phil comes in with his guitar and absolutely destroys the track. The solo is electrifying, it's filled with energy, just a great song all around that really takes you not on a roller coaster ride, but it really takes you on a journey, and it's really the two elements of the vocals and guitars that are really the driving forces behind this track. Next, Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, a ZZ Top classic. They kept a lot of the original intact on this song. They just added a lot of flavor. They added their own DNA, their own fingerprint into the overall sound and vocals on this track. The vocals are phenomenal. Once again, Bobby Blitz really delivers, really giving soul to this song, really giving his own personal touch, if you will, allowing the song to push forward, to have a really strong forward momentum coming out of his voice. And once again, Phil Demmel comes in with his guitar and unleashes another clinic on this song. He's like a wild stallion, just roaming around. Like, you cannot tame him on this record, and this song is a perfect example of how you cannot keep this guy under control once you put a guitar on his hands. He just absolutely destroys. The solo is incredible, just filled with energy, just expanding. It's sound that just expands beyond the walls of the track. I love how he played the guitar on this album, but specifically what he did with this song was absolutely phenomenal. Great cover, but like I said, keeping a lot of the original intact, just adding a new layer on top of that. Last but not least, Saturday Night Special. This is a LYNYRD SKYNYRD original song, and in my opinion, this is a song that really puts everything together, that they did a magnificent job bringing everything together. And one of the elements on this song that I really enjoyed was the drums. Perhaps something that's going to go unnoticed to most, because the vocals and the guitars, they take such a front stage throughout the record, and specifically in this song, that I feel like the drums get a little bit forgotten. But on this song, I really felt that the drum work was phenomenal. Mike Portnoy did an incredible job behind the drum kit. You know, what else is to expect? But I feel that it's perhaps going to go unnoticed, but it needs to be mentioned because I really like the drum work on this track. It really enhances the sound of the track. It gives the song a different feel, a different approach, a different emotion, if you will. And in my opinion, it allows then the guitars and vocals to do what they do best, to go a little bit more wild, to feel that they're free reign and just expand on everything else that they want to do. But the drums really keep the song consistent and cohesive. But it's a great track from a guitar's perspective. Another heavy, very well delivered song, very well crafted, keeping once again a lot of the original material intact, just really expanding upon it. And to me, the drums were really the path that allowed the vocals then to go where they did, and allows the guitars to be as dynamic as they are. This is it. This is BPMD with American Made, out once again June 12th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the project, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.